Alrighty, here's our image for inspiration. It's a little girl in an aquarium tunnel, leaning against the glass. A lovely photo by Becca Russum on Unsplash. Here I've got a very simple transfer, and the first thing I want to do is do a shout out to Karen Nicholas, who absolutely loaded me down with coffees, helped me get through this particular painting. So thanks for that, Karen. I really appreciate your support via Buy Me a Coffee. So the little girl, I've painted a Pastelmat in a black gouache. I'm just really enjoying painting on black at the moment and letting that blackness seep through. Here, a little note there, when doing a painting or shading with pencils, always try and follow the contours that you see. You're not colouring in, you're describing what you see with your eyes onto the paper. And I'm just trying my best to follow this formula of grey down first, then greens, and followed up by reds to see what that does for skin. And after I do those core layers, what tends to happen is I get to the fourth layer, and you know what? I just go for it. You'll just see all these pencils suddenly appear on my desk, where I start off with just 3 of each kind. There we go, just loaded down. And this particular painting I really wanted to challenge myself with hair. And here you see me doing hair in lime green. Isn't that fantastic? I wanted to challenge myself. This is only the third time I've done blonde hair. And so I thought the reflection, why not make it even harder? Why not try and mirror what I'm doing on the other side as well? I mean, if you could have a challenge, why not just, tempt fate and just make it so hard? I mean, this is why people climb mountains, right? Well, they climb mountains. I'm not fit enough for that. I do blonde hair instead. But you see the arms are all done, and cute little pudgy fingers. I spent way too long on those little pudgy fingers, but in the end they seem to come out okay. And in this particular painting, I was actually fairly anxious. My anxiety levels were right up there. And well, that's normal for every time I pick up the pastels and have a go at a picture. I'm always got that initial stage fright. This particular time I had learnt that my wife was having to go to hospital for an operation, and that was weighing on my mind, and I was determined to try and get this picture done before she was admitted. And of course, being a challenge, it was much harder than what it seemed, and was taking longer. And eventually I had to pause and for about a month while we sorted out her health. Yes, here's a good note. It's at this stage of doing a picture I say, don't panic, David, you can do this. And that really helps, because actually it doesn't, but art is one of those things where you just got to keep doing it and trust the process. If you keep layering, you'll get up with this lovely sort of yarn-like hair. I was looking at it at the time going, oh my word, what am I doing? And 4 weeks later, my wife came out of hospital, and here I am sitting. My heart had finally sort of restarted itself, and because this is this was a real problem for me in that art is something I want to have as a career. Currently I do strategic alignment as a consultancy, and while I'm very good at that, I'm also aware that age and stage, sometimes you've got to have a backup plan, and my backup plan is to be an artist. And I started wondering about my art because during the 4 weeks sort of preparing for my wife to go into hospital, and then when she was in hospital, and my heart just wasn't in this. I just couldn't do it. And it made me wonder, was I really cut out to be an artist? Because some time ago I read an article on a website called Lifehack. It was written by this chap, Casey Imafidon, maybe? I'm sorry if I've massacred your name. Anyway, he wrote a very good article on the difference between an artist and an amateur. And the first point he had on the difference between an artist and an amateur was an amateur never sticks to schedule. A professional is always on time. Now, I know that from my consulting. I know how important time is, especially when I'm charging by the hour for it. But how important it is to the client. You turn up. There's no excuses. You turn up. But the art journey's been a little different because I found it quite an emotional experience, that if I can't connect the picture to my fingers, or what's going on in my heart, if I don't have that emotional connection to what I see, then it just doesn't happen. And this chap said, an amateur artist only shows up when he feels like it. He doesn't maintain a regular work ethic and is never consistent. But professionals put themselves to work on days they don't feel like it. Whether they feel like it or not, they show up to work. I've got an artist friend on LinkedIn. I always pronounce her name in my head as Johanna, but it may be Johanna. I'm not sure. I hope I haven't massacred your name, Johanna Renee. Does beautiful dreamy landscapes. Just fantastic. And she does once a week on LinkedIn, she'll do a painting. She'll do a stream of one of her pastels, and then she sells it. It's fantastic. I just love that. That's her business, and I subscribe to her newsletter, and every week I see a letter come through, and there's a fresh painting for sale. She is an artist. She rocks up, she does the job, and here am I. This painting was done over a period of maybe 2.5 months, and I'm like, you know what? That's not going to feed you, David. It's gotta up the output. But I did find it very difficult to when my heart wasn't in the right place to paint, and I haven't had that experience in my professional career, whether it was transformation management or business analysis or my own consulting company. I don't know if it's because it's one of those activities, there's a lot of thinking involved, connecting the dots, and so there's less heart involved, or what the story is. I'm certainly passionate about my work, but I haven't quite connected that straight into painting. Anyway, as you can see from the hair, I decided to give it a rest at this stage, and I'd come back. My wife was now out of hospital. I think this was about the 4th or 5th day after she had been resting and she was in less pain. Poor thing. And so I picked up the painting again, and I thought, I can do this. I just not only was I telling myself I just got to do it, I felt like doing it as well. And as I was painting, and you might view it as drawing, I always think of pastel work as painting, but you know, whatever, you're allowed to see it as drawing if you like. The feeling I had of doing this little girl was one of tenderness, and I just wanted to do her justice and get that little girlish innocence as she's leaning against the aquarium wall. And I don't know if she could see her reflection in that wall. Later on, maybe you'll see some fish swimming by. And she had this cute little dress on. And this was really where the black gouache background came into its own, because I wanted to use that, the darkness of the underpainting, to come through for the shadows for her dress. So you know, I've got a very limited red range, and that's why I'm pulled in the yellow to sort of try and get a little bit more orangey for the highlights. But I was actually really delighted with how our little outfit came out in the end. It's nice when something actually works, and you weren't quite sure at the beginning if you were going to get it right. And I guess that's kind of been my journey in art, and you might find that in life as well. You decide to do something different, and you know, there's always a little voice in our head that says, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. And some call it the imposter. I think I'll do a video at some stage which, you know, my view is it's not imposter syndrome that we face. It's more procrastinator syndrome, and it's just our brain saying, I haven't got the energy to try something new. You know, it's really exciting. You know, sorry about the change of lighting here. I went from it had been raining, and I had to, oh, there we go, I turned the lights back on. It had been raining, and I lost the sunlight. I thought, oh, I've got it back, and then I had to turn the studio light on again. Yeah, so we have this sort of, we think it's an imposter, but I think it's a procrastinator in us that just says, you know what, it takes too much energy to try and do something new. And this is why a lot of people won't do anything. It's not that they can't do it, it's just they're not prepared to put the energy and the effort, that they're either conserving that energy for something that they do enjoy, or they just listen to that little voice saying, no, I can't do it. But I don't think I'm absolutely convinced it's not imposter syndrome, because when I started doing this, I think this is number 70 in my art journey. I wanted to demonstrate through this YouTube channel, you don't need talent to achieve things. I had no artistic talent when I started this. I didn't know how to draw. In fact, for this particular drawing, if you look at the very beginning, it's a very simple transfer. It's just an outline I'd taken off a printout of the girl, and I'm now used to the fact that the colours will just fill in everything. The detail will come in as I paint in those colours, the lights and shades, and I don't have to worry about trying to do a really detailed drawing. But anyway, so I didn't have any artistic talent. People say it to me all the time, oh, you're talented. I'm like, no, I'm not. I just determined. I've got a lot of self-belief and happen to be quite stubborn about things, and don't give up often as quickly as I should. Oh yeah, here's some my pan pastels coming out. So if we don't need talent, then actually the little voice in our head that's saying you can't do this is wrong. People are able to do all sorts of amazing things. You're able to do amazing things. And I hope you're feeling inspired to go and do those after watching this. Unless it's really strenuous activity, consult with your doctor first. You won't see me advocating for strenuous activity. I just do painting. So we're almost coming to the finish, and I'd got over my procrastination voice. I was like, you know what, I can do this. Although when I was doing the water, and you might see the splashes of the fish, the darting fish I'm trying to suggest in there. The water was actually a little harder than what I thought, and I had to say to myself, just keep going. You'll be right. It always sort of blends in at the end. But I did find the pan pastels, I know them quite well now, and they're beautiful to blend colours with. Whereas pastel pencil on Pastelmat I find a little difficult to blend. So that's my little shaper there. I'm just trying to get in the lines of the tunnel. So the tunnel's curved, and I just wanted to suggest that little suggestion of her reflection of her dress. And look, here we are. It's signature time. And you see how slow I go. This is why I speed up my work. I can't even do a signature fast. So I hope you enjoyed this little journey. My wife's feeling a lot better, in case you're wondering. I am too. It's nice to be painting again, and I really appreciate you joining. Hope to see you again. Thanks.